digital nomad or just criminal?
Story goes that every generation has one. Some damn soul cursed to ride the earth.
See, this is what I get annoyed by when I watch some of these silly van life videos. Not only do they sort of paint a false narrative where everything is sunsets and beaches and Great Lakes and all that nonsense, rather than the reality of car parks, crapping in a carrier bag and eating junk food from a service station.
This is what living in a McDonald's car park is like. I don't normally park in car parks like this, but I had to play it safe. So I decided to get McDonald's, eat on my bed with Gigi. That was a good thing about staying in a McDonald's car park. You get dinner. I took Gigi out for a walk in the majestic-ass car park. Normally, when you stay in car parks like this, it's really loud. There's loads of people hanging around, playing loud music, that kind of thing. So I try and make myself as invisible as being in a massive white van can be by blocking all the windows up securely and putting a pillow in the way. This was my view, and in the morning, I get to use the bin, which is a great perk of being next to McDonald's.
It's the idea of being a digital nomad. From what I gather, living in the real world, a digital nomad, by these descriptions or these interpretations, they think that you can live in a van and be completely free of the matrix, you know, off-grid, free to roam. But none of these people, these digital nomad van lifers, they're not sovereign citizens, because that doesn't work. We know what happens when you try to drive without a number plate or a driving license or insurance or tax, road tax.
But just so you're aware,
Yeah.
You've got no jurisdiction over me
Right.
at all. As of the 30th of January, there was a UCC 1 filing -308.
Sorry.
Back of the car. Steve, does it?
You usually get arrested and your vehicle impounded. Certainly in the UK. Elsewhere, I'm not too sure, but certainly in the UK. You try driving without a license, insurance, MOT, tax, road tax, you're probably going to get flashed on an APN or a police car with an APN camera. You're just going to be pulled over, turn around, they follow you, pull you over and impound your vehicle, impound your home, because you say you live full-time in your van. Now, the reality of it is you can't. You know, as much as these people will delude themselves and you into thinking you can live in your vehicle without having any council tax to pay, a home address, anything like that. No, it's not true. Because to have a driving license, that's what you need to drive the van on the road, you have to have an address. Now, you're either committing a criminal offence and driving without a license, or you're committing a criminal offence by lying and saying you live somewhere. That somewhere is probably someone you're exploiting, like your mother or your gran or your best friend. You're using their address to illegally attain a license. Because to have a license, you have to have it at where you live. It has to be registered, and your vehicle, V5, has to be registered at where you live. If you don't have a house or a fixed address, you can't have a license. You need a fixed address. So the only way you can obtain a license, a driving license, insurance to go with that vehicle, a V5, have a vehicle registered to you, and all those things you need to travel, such as, bank accounts, bank cards, all that stuff. Now, if you're lying to obtain those by saying you live somewhere where you don't really live, you're committing fraud. It's actually a criminal offence to obtain a licence fraudulently. And fraud is obviously saying you live somewhere where you don't live. Because you're a van lifer, you're a digital nomad, you're a full-time van lifer. No, you're usually exploiting someone and breaking the law to obtain your licence, your insurance, your MOT, everything. Because you can't get an MOT without insurance. You can't insure your vehicle without a licence. So if you've attained your licence illegally, then there's a good chance that your insurance that you've attained deceptively is invalid. So think about it. It all has knock-on consequences, doesn't it? You know, so you're not really a digital nomad. Even broadband or mobile connections, you need an address to get your bills sent to. And pay with a bank account, a card, a debit card, all of which has been obtained deceitfully or criminally, which is the bottom line. So are you really a digital nomad van lifer, full-time van lifer, or you're just a criminal that wants the best of things without actually having to deal with the reality of things? You want your cake and you want to eat it. You want to pretend, you know, you don't pay council tax, you don't pay this, you don't pay that. You're on the road, you can travel freely, you can do whatever you want. But it's all based on lies, deception, and criminal behaviour. Something to think about, isn't it? So is it really a good idea to be on YouTube and social media saying you're a full-time van lifer? Saying you're a digital nomad? When really, the reality is probably a little bit more illegal. Let me know your comments down below. What do you think?